All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. First, just an introduction, just kind of about myself. I'm Darian Thomas. Of course, I own 58 Fitness here in Kansas City, Missouri. Basically, kind of how I came to this kind of psychology and weight loss thing is kind of through college and through my experience throughout my life. I kind of got into the study of psychology, and this is kind of what's brought me to um, being so much into psychology and kind of trying to figure out how psychology mixes with weight loss and how I can be a better trainer myself. So, kind of throughout this webinar here, we're kind of going to go through a little introduction, a little bit more about myself, kind of talk about the current health issues and things like that we're kind of facing in America. Um, why people, of course, weight loss and things like that are seen widely around this country as an issue. But just trying to figure out why most people are failing, why most people have issues losing weight and keeping it off. So we'll kind of go into that a little bit, and then talking about body image, body satisfaction, things like that. Trying to help people, trying to figure out, you know, how social media and how things outside of your own home kind of affect your body image and how you think about your own body. Try to help people figure out kind of where they are with that, and then finally we'll kind of wrap up with the workbook exercises as well as the questions that go along with it. And if you have any questions for me or anything like that, I'll go ahead and answer those at that time. So and like I says at the bottom, go ahead and feel free to ask any questions throughout. You can put it in the chat box, and I'll go ahead and answer those as we go along. If you're interested in answering questions, hi Megan. If you can hear me, go ahead and post in the chat box there, just to make sure that everything's working correctly here. Megan, I'm actually going to send you a text to make sure that you can hear me. Just want to make sure. If your phone's in the other room, go run down and grab it. Okay, so I'll continue on and I'll backtrack if you guys can't hear me. Okay, so next, again, I kind of went through my name, who I am. So, earned a degree from the University of Missouri in psychology. Kind of didn't know where I wanted to go with that initially. Kind of found my kind of home in the training world. Uh, and little did I know that my kind of degree would help me to affect people's lives in the training world and help people to better themselves and better their lifestyles. And so it's actually been something that's helped me greatly in kind of helping clients and things like that to kind of figure out how they're going to make a lifestyle change versus just coming into the gym and kind of pushing around weight and things like that. I've been training about 4 years. Once I got out of college, kind of bounced around with different ideas of what I wanted to do with my psychology degree. And then kind of found, like I said, found my home in the training world through meeting a friend and mentor of mine, Rick Streb. The reason why we kind of came to this book, Mind Over Fatter, The Psychology of Weight Loss, is one of my mentors and again, a good friend of mine, Greg Justice, actually wrote this book. And um, you know, in my early days of training and trying to figure out, what this training industry was all about, kind of came across Greg in a conference that he was teaching at in the summer of 2013. And we were able to talk and kind of figure out that pretty quickly that we had something in common. He was studying kind of the psychology of weight loss, and I had just graduated from Mizzou with a degree in psychology. And so we kind of clicked there immediately and kind of figured out, okay, this is kind of a match for us. And so right after that, or shortly after the conference, he actually sent me a PDF of the book before it even actually came out. So I got to read it a little bit before some people even got their hands on it. So it was good. I gave him a couple reviews on it, just kind of how I felt as a millennial about the book and kind of things that you could kind of tweak in it and things like that. And so since then, me and him have built a great relationship, and we've actually done some presentations with this one or two together about Mind Over Fatter. So that's why we're bringing it to you guys. And this is my first time doing a webinar about it, but uh, hopefully it goes well. Okay, so a big thing is kind of what is psychology, and kind of how does it fit into weight loss, or kind of how does it fit into your world, your challenges when you're trying to lose weight. So basically, just a dictionary definition. It's the scientific study of the human mind and its functions. Essentially, oh, I lost my feed there. Okay, essentially, let me try to move this out of the way. All right. Okay. Essentially, those affecting behaviors in a given context. So, kind of when you give that kind of broad definition, it's kind of hard to figure out. All right, yeah, that's psychology, but how does that affect me as a weight loss, or a client that wants to lose weight, or a person that wants to lose weight, or some change some lifestyle effect in my life? So more as you read down more a little bit into the definitions or specific kind of outlets of psychology, you get to kind of this deal here, the mental and emotional factors governing the situations and activities in our life. And so that's a very important kind of definition or kind of outlet of psychology, and it directly affects kind of what we're talking about as far as weight loss. When you think kind of your mentality towards your weight, your mentality towards going to the gym and working out and being active, or just your mentality towards food, emotional eating, things like that. So those are the types of things that govern your activities, govern in kind of the situations that you're in. And so it's definitely something that a definition that is very kind of in touch with what we're talking about. Uh, let's see. Okay, so why psychology matters. This is kind of when the table's trying to turn for me in psychology. At first, it was just kind of a degree that I wanted to get into, but kind of when I really turned on to psychology and kind of figuring out really it was what I wanted to do, was um, we started to do this deal at Mizzou when I was playing football there, and it was all about they called it the whistle to snap. And so basically what it was thinking right on the field and how that could help you or help our team to win games. And so if you look kind of at the number of years here. Okay, so I got to Mizzou 2009. And so when we got there, we're in the Big 12, doing pretty good. Nothing real big to speak of. We were right there, kind of run the mill. We're right there in the middle. So kind of made a conference change, and things kind of went downhill from there. As far as we went 5-7. I mean, if you ever played a sport, going below 500 is never what you want to do. It's always it's kind of mentally demoralizing in the sense that you work out and this is a part of your life, 365 days, and you get to the actual game and you get to the actual where you're kind of putting everything out there that you've worked on and done over the past year. And now you're at the point where it's time to show everything and put it on the table, and you kind of just fall flat on your face. And so we went back from that season and tried to figure out, okay, hey, what is it that we can do? What is it that we're doing wrong that we can change in order to increase kind of our winning, increase kind of our ability to play together as a team, things like that. So they came up with this idea, which was already kind of developed by a professor at the University of Missouri. It's called Whistle to Snap. And so basically, Whistle to Snap was to help all of us kind of, whether the play was good, whether the play was bad, it was all about getting back in the right mindset in order to do your best in the next play, in order to kind of get back into your center. And so, as you can see, from that 2012 season, went on to go 12-2, and then the next year 11-3. And so that is, I mean, almost all of it is contributed to the fact that we brought in that mind over, or sorry, that whistle to snap kind of program into the Missouri program, and that kind of is what propelled us to be better and things like that. So, kind of moving on from there. Um, Now we're going to kind of get into the book, kind of talk a little bit about kind of what kind of what the first chapter kind of talks about. Why are those what things in there are important, and kind of touch on a few things. We aren't going to go exactly page by page of the book, but we'll highlight a couple things. I'll bring in a couple factors from the book as well as things that I kind of learned throughout my time and things at Mizzou. And so, hi Sandy, hi Angie. So I'll kind of talk through it. So to start out with, just kind of going over the kind of the stats and the factors that we're kind of facing as a society in America, and kind of where we are. So let's see. Let me talk here. Okay, so as far as training, there's more trainers in America than ever. There's also more overweight and obese people. Had a typo there. More overweight and obese people than ever before here in America. So yeah, so trying to figure out the diet craze and um, kind of where we're going. Okay, so about this is a figure from a couple of years ago, so it's kind of increased a little bit. So 78.6 million overweight or obese in America. Okay, 72% are want to lose weight or have some type of body dissatisfaction. You got a million people on a diet, and another 20 million that have tried to diet, but they're unsuccessful over their past 4 to 5 attempts in the past year. So, kind of where does that leave us at? We're kind of in a downward spiral, and I think a big part of it, and a big part that we need to figure out is what's causing these kind of lifestyle decisions, and how can we change this thing to kind of get us in an upward exponential kind of graph and get us out of this rut that we're in. So. Yeah, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, so like I said, more personal trainers than ever. There are also more overweight or obese people than ever in this country. So why is that? The kind of biggest thing that I believe that's kind of facing the kind of personal training world, and why a lot of individuals that are trying to lose weight and are trying to be healthy and lifestyle changes, is there's kind of a disconnect between kind of trainers and kind of the lifestyle change. A lot of trainers, they purely just kind of go towards, okay, let's lift this type of weight, be here 3 times a week, things like that, without kind of assessing what mentally or kind of those situations, kind of those emotional factors and things like that we talked about that are the basis of psychology, kind of those things and how those things and how we can use those things to help people to build that lifestyle change, instead of focusing on just the weights and the numbers, kind of on the scale. And so I think kind of we have that awareness that we need to change, but it's not kind of resonating, and I think psychology is the way that personal trainers need to kind of go to build that relationship with their clients and kind of their situations and things like that to help them change. Okay, so I thought this was the biggest thing of this first 2 chapters, and it's the first 4 words of basically the book. It's "Do I look fat?" And so I think that's huge, because when you look at weight loss and you look at kind of trying to figure out how to help clients change, or how to help clients get over those emotional factors or things like that have caused the weight gain, or caused the inactivity. Um, you kind of have to look at what's kind of powering that. Are they trying to lose weight because of a health factor, or because they feel like they're inactive and they really want to get active again, or is it purely just because they go out and they can't, someone says, oh hey, you're a little overweight, or you hear a comment that someone makes, or you go to a store and you can't go in this store, you can't go in that store, Is that what's kind of pressing your decision, or is it that you really want to make a change and you really want to live a more wholesome life? And so I think that those four kind of words in the beginning of the book are huge as far as the first two chapters go, and trying to figure out, you know, how you can find your why, in in your journey and in this whole change. And so I kind of pulled a couple different deals. We have everybody that signs up for a membership or for a program with us. We have them fill out a form online, and so it kind of the big deal about it. The reason why is because we really want to find people who really want to make a change and really want to kind of figure out how to make their life better, and how to make you know every day be the best day that they can live and be in the best shape of their life. And so we have them fill out that form just purely so we can kind of figure out, okay, is this person really ready to change, or is it something that I saw it online and I just really kind of think I might want to do it, but not really something that I want. And so, let's see. So, so this is kind of one of our forms here that somebody filled out, and you can kind of read through it if you want, and then I won't tell you exactly who it is, but you kind of read through it and kind of check out kind of just little factors within it that kind of stand out, uh, that kind of stand out to you, and why you kind of thought that would be a major factor that would help make someone want to commit to a program or commit long term to something. Um, and so I'll just kind of pause a second just so you can kind of read through that and kind of check that out. Sorry, I hope everybody can hear me. It's my first time using GoToWebinar, but you guys are all friends, so it'll be all right. You'll text me if you can't. Okay. All right. Okay, I see what's going on. I got you. All right. So now that we've kind of read through that, let's kind of go on to what I kind of see on a day to day in our forums that are kind of different from, or kind of a little bit more of forms that we get that aren't necessarily ones that we want to take, or people that are just aren't ready, or maybe just don't know why. And you kind of figure out very quickly that when they have kind of this one word response, or kind of these short answers to things, it's kind of very kind of telling of how they'll do over the next 6 weeks, or how they'll do over the next year, or going forward in your program. And so these are kind of just kind of forums. I know you read that whole paragraph there, that told a real overview of kind of what that person kind of felt in their life, where they were in their life, and kind of where they wanted to go. And so these are more examples of people that kind of 2 words, 3 words. Maybe there's something in there that I need guidance. Maybe there's something in just that sentence that you can pull out that can help you. That can help you help them. But you know that would be like me reaching and pulling and trying to pull things out of those people that maybe they just aren't ready for. Um, I need guidance. That can mean, you need nutrition diet or nutrition guidance. Maybe, you need guidance at home with things with factors as far as eating at home, or you have too much junk food in your desk, or things like that. I mean, so it's really hard for me to kind of assess people, and try to figure out why and how I can help people, when I'm really not sure, exactly uh, what and how to help them. So the biggest thing for me is helping people try to find that why, and try to help people figure out what it is that's going to help them even on those hard days that are going to help them push through kind of where they are, having that bad day and I just really don't want to do it today, and trying to help people push through those days and help them get through, those tough decisions as far as food and exercise and being in the gym and things like that. And so, first thing we'll kind of talk about, I can screw that slide up. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about kind of diet, and kind of where kind of dieting has gone, kind of as a whole. So dieting a year is, let's see, I wrote this down. In 2015, 15, just this is just supplements alone, 15 billion dollars on supplements alone. And so this article that I read this afternoon actually, kind of came to me right before this whole thing kind of started. Is It said people are ignoring science. Why? Can it be reversed? And so it was in a kind of local kind of newsletter that I get every month. And so I mean, why are people kind of, you know straying away from what we know is right, and why is diet a bad word? I mean, everything that you put in your mouth is basically your diet, and for us today and for us as a society today, we see diet as a bad thing. I don't want to be on a diet. Usually diet means taking out everything that you're eating. Uh, not eating meat, not eating starches, not eating carbs, things like that. But the big thing about dieting, and the big thing that I think people need to understand is dieting isn't a bad word. Uh, Dieting is everything that you eat, everything that you're doing throughout a day as far as food, and well, even not even the food, even the fuel for your body. So actually, it affects every aspect of your day, and so. Dieting shouldn't be something that we stray away from. It should be something that's kind of embraced, and thought of as something that's, yeah. I want everyone to talk about my diet, because my diet has everything to do with my life, and my life is built around my diet and how I fuel my body. And so let's see. Like I said, some people think of diet as a punishment. Let's kind of get away from that as far as diet goes. Okay, so let's talk about getting back to basics as far as diet. The big thing is everybody gets so wrapped up in macros and how many carbs am I eating, how much protein, how many grams of this am I eating. Uh, I think the biggest thing that we need to do, as just in general, is kind of get back to basics. At one time, eating healthy and having that wholesome diet was about having balance as far as your fats and your carbs, and your protein. And I think now we've really overcomplicated the entire deal. Everyone looks at fat. In the book, it kind of talks about fat and how people, they kind of, everyone wants to get rid of fat. But I think it's really important that people understand that fat is essential to your diet. Without fat, you can't absorb nutrients. You know, fat stored in your body also helps to protect your organs. It helps you to things like that. And I think people really kind of fat kind of gets a bad rap in the sense that everyone just thinks about it as layers of layers and layers of fat. But those essential fats in your body are things that your body needs in order for it to kind of survive, and to thrive every day. And so I think as a whole, that kind of having balance. Uh, Actually, read a study about a year ago, and I hope I can find it and pull it out, and I'll post it for you guys. But it actually revealed that there's no, or it was a study of about 100 people, and no balance of proteins, carbs, and fats actually worked more than another, as far as like a significant change for any group. They had three groups and they gave each of them a different proportion of carbs, fats, and proteins. All of them lost weight as long as they stuck to the diet and they stuck to the exercise and things like that they were doing every day. And so, um, kind of trying to replicate that study is kind of hard because it's hard for you to give someone a diet and then them follow it every day, especially Everyone has their different lifestyle. Everybody has their different factors that kind of affect how they're able to put fuel in their body and things like that. And so when you're able to stick to the same diet or the same ratios, yes, they might need to be kind of tweaked a little bit just to help you out. But for the most part, we don't see a ton of change as far as a high fat diet or not necessarily high fat, but kind of high carb, high protein, things like that. Uh, there's not a ton of difference in between that, and I'm going to post that study probably in the 58 group later after this. And so also kind of getting back to basics is just getting in your vitamins and minerals in a day, kind of those essential things that help you kind of survive through a day and kind of not just kind of survive through the days, actually thrive and be a game changer in your work, in your family life, and things like that. And so having that balance of your diets, fats, carbs, proteins, things like that, and also having that balance of your vitamin and minerals. I mean, when you're able to kind of put those all together and build that perfect, I don't want to call it a diet anymore, but kind of that perfect. I'm going to blank on a word for that, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. Um, let's see. Let's see. How do we get back to basics? I think the biggest thing as far as getting back to basics, as far as food, is really kind of getting rid of all these advanced systems as far as the the Avocares and the meal replacements and things like that, and all the quick, kind of the quick fad, get fit in 20 days type deal. I think when we throw that out and we start to build that kind of, okay, I need to get my meats, I need to get my vegetables, I need to get my fruits in a day. And once we're able to throw out all the extra stuff and actually get to a place where um, you know that whole kind of meal, your meat, your vegetables, and things like that. Once that is only the part, and you're not trying to add in, all right, well, let me do maybe a Nutrisystem meal. Let me throw that in there, and okay, how's that going to affect my proteins and things like that? And then let me throw in, let's see, uh, isogenics into my diet. How's that going to change? And I think once you throw all that out and then just get back to the basics, I know the food out there that we're given to eat isn't the greatest quality, so it's kind of hard to get the essential vitamins and minerals through the food that we're eating. But I think that once you kind of throw that all out and just look at the basics, then you kind of get a more you kind of simplify the whole equation. And so I think that's a big thing for everyone, and kind of how kind of I'm trying to do at the moment is just trying to I lost about 15 pounds about 2 months ago, and it was basically just eating those things, drinking my water, things like that. And then I tried to kind of add in things, and then it kind of got crazy, and then I got off the diet or kind of out of that kind of lifestyle. And so now I'm back to kind of just making sure I have my fruits, my vegetables, and my protein. And so now the scale's starting to move again in the right way. And so crazy how that works. Just kind of simply just doing the things that you need. It actually works. So let's talk a little bit about kind of how that leads, kind of that diet. More people are gaining weight. More people, they don't know how to lose weight. They're trying. Obviously, we talked about how 20 million people are trying to lose weight. They're off, they're on, they're yo-yoing up and down. And so kind of talking about body dissatisfaction and kind of where people get to as far as a headspace when they kind of go and look in the mirror. This looking in the mirror is kind of one of those first activities if you haven't looked at your workbook for the Mind Over Fatter. Uh, Kind of looking in the mirror and kind of looking at yourself and kind of seeing, okay, I love this about my body, I don't love this about my body. But the biggest thing is, people aren't satisfied with their body. I believe it was something around 80% in that first couple of slides that are, kind of dissatisfied with their weight or want to lose weight. And so just talking about body dissatisfaction, and how those kind of psychological factors, how social media, how magazines, just people that you see on the street, clothing designers, how they kind of affect your image and how you look at your body and how you look at yourself. And so I think that's a this. We're going into chapter two, and so if you're kind of following along the book, we're kind of in chapter two right now, and so just kind of talking about body dissatisfaction. Let's see on there. Switch over here. Okay, so body satisfaction is kind of defined as the image or perception that a person has of their self and their thoughts and feelings that result in their perception of themselves. So, uh, kind of what that means is kind of the things around you that perceive how you feel about yourself. I mean, really, you should never let anything let affect the way you perceive about yourself. But this is life. We do have emotions, and we can't change that, and we can't do anything about it. And so this kind of body image thing is kind of the hardest thing to grasp and understand when you go into trying to change your lifestyle, because it can be derailing for you if one day you're out and you're in the gym, you feel great, you look great, and all of a sudden someone comes in the gym and they look at you funny, or they say something that throws you off, and now that image, that thought that you had is not, it kind of throws you off a little bit. So and then you start with this self talk, or this negative self talk, which causes you to kind of question your being, question who you are, question, am I overweight? Am I two toned? Am I too fit? Things like that. You have people that view muscular women as looking manly, and so it's not just a thing of losing weight. It's a thing of trying to figure out just perception in general, is because some people, there's become kind of this image of what a woman is, and there's become an image of what a man is, and if you don't kind of fit those profiles, then you're kind of an outsider, and people, oh, she's really muscular. I don't, well, so that kind of talk and things around you can affect the way that you feel about yourself, and so having positive self talk. And being able to, kind of block out those negative things and those negative feelings around you, uh, can help you to stay online and help you to be better kind of in your fitness journey, and also just in your life. I know for us, as a football team at Mizzou, a big thing for us was self talk. It was, maybe you made the biggest mistake ever in a previous play. You completely missed a block, and you got your quarterback sacked, and now they went and scored on the fumble from your quarterback, and so it's that can be a bad place to be in as far as a headspace. I mean, you come off the field, and those, not only the 120 guys on the sideline, but also the million, 10 million or so people that are watching on TV. Uh, Obviously, they're at home thinking, "Wow, what a bonehead! How do you do that?" And so, if you let that self talk enter in your brain, oh man, I'm not good. Man, I missed that. I let my team down. Things like that. I mean, when you think about the turnaround for that, you have maybe, you just turn the ball over, so you have maybe another. Uh, Maybe minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes, depending on commercial time. You have that amount of time in order to get yourself back into the right headspace, in order to get yourself ready to play at an optimum level. And so I think it's kind of the same way in life, is that, I mean, you really have to be able to, let the water roll off your back, if you will, as far as, that negative self-talk that you hear around you. And a big thing, is even, just kind of siding off to that, is kind of the people that you hang around with. I have a friend who has a saying that if you have five broke friends, you're definitely going to be the sixth one. So the people that you hang around with. If you have people around you that talk bad about you, or have little things that they throw out at you, oh man, you're going to the gym again? Like wow, you sure are getting a little muscular there, or your clothes are starting to fit a little tight. Just having those people around you that have that negative kind of connotation and things like that. Uh, Trying to figure out, or trying to exit all that out, and trying to have that positive self talk, and always and having that having positive self talk, but knowing what the positive self talk is. I am great. It's not like it's good. I'm all right. Things like that. No, it's I'm great. I can do this. I'm the best at this. It. I mean, it's pretty much an all or nothing. And we'll kind of get into this. Kind of get into this a little later. But the thought of kind of expecting to win, or kind of having that mentality about yourself. Like whenever I step into the gym, whenever I step into eating my food, or on a daily basis, kind of having that thought of, I'm going to win this day because I'm great, because, I'm awesome, things like that. And um, so like I said, having that positive self talk about yourself can help you in the long run to build a better self image, because you kind of build this confidence about yourself. And those little things on the outside, or those little factors, or things that people throw at you, uh, you kind of have that understanding about who I am, and who I am as a person, and it's able to help you kind of build that better lifestyle. And next thing you know, people around you are kind of like, oh, those people that have been kind of throwing little, hey, you go to the gym too much. Now they're saying, well, wait, this person is now, wearing a bikini on the beach. They're going out to the pool every day, and in their bikini, and where am I? Well, what am I doing? And so you actually will affect other people's lives in that way, is because I mean, it greatness attracts greatness, pretty much. And those that can't accept that will eventually fall off as a friend, or maybe you have to let them go as a friend. Uh, but kind of just talking about that lifestyle change, and that whole attitude of, I can do this, I can be great today, can ultimately just change who you are. And so I think that is a huge thing. And some people have this, and kind of going off that, and kind of talking about people's perception of you, and how they talk about you, and being positive about yourself. Uh, there's a lot of issues with kind of this, having a realistic or unrealistic kind of understanding of your body image, and who you are. And so the biggest thing as far as that is, uh, and I'll kind of call you out here, Angie. I have a client named Angie. She actually had a moment about maybe 5 months ago, right in December. So we were kind of doing these back to back kind of in house challenges, trying to figure out, hey, how do we help our vet clients to kind of get back on track after they've kind of lost their way, or kind of try to help them, continue on their journey, and not get complacent in kind of the setting that we're in, because you kind of become friends. You kind of get to a point where you're like, oh yeah, like you're doing good, you're doing good. Just trying to figure out ways that we can push them and help them to be better people. And so she kind of had this moment where we are doing a challenge, and she kind of was like, I don't really feel like I need to do a challenge, because I don't really feel like, I feel like I'm at a place in my life where I'm good. I don't need to lose 5 pounds. I don't need to lose another five, and I don't need to gain another 5 pounds. And that's kind of great, because she was right there, kind of in the middle of where she should be, because not a not like, um, not bone skinny, and not overweight, but just kind of right in that kind of zone where your body likes to be. Your body has a zone where a lot of people, they get to that zone, and they're like, oh, I just can't lose any more weight, and things like that. And I want to get more of this. I want to get more of that. I want my legs to look better. I want my arms to look better. And so when your body kind of gets to that safe zone, then it kind of gets really comfortable in there. Uh, just because, I mean, for your body, it's built for you to survive. And so when your body reaches that level, it says, okay, this is where we're optimally kind of surviving on a daily basis. So for us, this is good. Mentally, you might think that I need to lose another 5 pounds or 10 pounds. But for your body, it says, okay, we have our essential fats, we have our muscle, we're good in the state that we're in. So kind of figuring that kind of place out and figuring that figuring where you are. And a lot of people, it's very hard for them to kind of reach that understanding or reach that spot because they're looking at social media, they're looking at Instagram models, they're looking at this, they're looking at that, and it really kind of is really distorting kind of the reality of where you should be now. Your body, me saying that, okay, your body isn't supposed to be 300, 400 plus pounds. It was never built to carry that type of weight. So if you reach a weight where you're in that range and your body starts not to lose weight, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about kind of that, and there's no specific weight, per height, per weight. I mean, my body kind of feels pretty good at about 230 or so, 235. Um, but for my height and weight, if I go to the doctor, they would tell me that I'm obese. So it's purely just an individual type of thing, and so sorry. So it's really just an individual thing, and just kind of having that realistic. All right, so I'm such and such. You know, I'm Darian. Okay, I'm 350 pounds. I'm about 6 foot, and okay. So realistically, where do I want to go? And realistically, how quick am I going to get there is also another big thing. Is like, okay, so how fast can I lose this weight? And talking about that's $15 billion supplement industry a year. Am I gonna take a cleanse, things like that? Am I gonna do a wrap, things like that? Am I gonna take the long way that's eventually gonna bring me right back up to the weight that I'm at, or am I gonna take a more steady decline approach? And in doing that, where's my point where I want to be? Where is uh, you know, I'm obviously never going to be 150 pounds, and I think that's kind of a big thing for um, if you've never been to my gym, you'll understand that my client base is about 93, 94% women, and so kind of trying to help women figure out where their zone is or where they should be, because a lot of times it's 5 to 10 pounds above where they think they should be, and also people have this kind of idea that I was this weight in high school, I was this weight in college, I was this weight pre kids, and understanding that start point that you're initially at, um, that's kind of gone away. Your body is totally different than what it was in high school, what it was in college, what it was pre having a kid, and so you really have to figure out that new start point. You can't say I want to be back where I am. Well, that's in the past. So kind of figuring out that new kind of start a point. You have to throw that out. If you've gained 50 pounds, and you're at, say we're back to 300, in an example of myself. If you're at 300 and you want to get to, and you want to get to, or you previously were 250 and now you're 300, 300 is your new start point. 250 is not your start point. That's in the past, and that's a hard thing for people to do and understand because people want to think, oh man, I used to be that way. Let me get back to that. But it's almost just like a savings account. You can't be like, well, I used to have X amount of dollars and now I have this amount, but it, it's gone. You can't get that back. You have to start, in that day. You have to start where you are now, and I think that's a huge thing for people is letting go of that original start point and starting from where you are now, and also talking about that as well. If you were at that 300 and you got back to that 250 and then you gain that back, that's even a harder place for people because uh, you know you were where you wanted to be and you got to that goal, and now you're back to square one, or even higher than square one. And so that's a huge deal for people, and trying to figure out, that new start point. Was 300 my start point? Is 250 my start point? Is the 315 that I'm at now my start point? And realistically, you'd want to look at that spot that you are right now, and erase the rest and get back to, the basic things like we talked about, getting back to basics, and the basic things that got you to lose that weight, and start from there. And so, kind of in that body image, trying to figure out where you want to go, where you want to be, and realistically where your body wants to be. Okay, so any questions as far as anything we've touched on or anything I've talked about? You can either post it in kind of the questions spot or in the, let's see, Sandy Hill. Hold on, I'm not sure how to do this yet. All right, hold on. Okay, listen. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Okay, Cindy, what did you need? I don't know how to do this whole, connected to audio. Unmute you, Cindy. Okay, go ahead and talk. Can you talk? Wait, go. Okay, go ahead now. Hello, Sandy. Okay, you're echoing. I'm echoing. Mm, I'm trying to figure this out. All right, Sandy, what do you need?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so if I am 300 pounds, do I need to eat for the 300 pounds or do I need to eat for my goal weight? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, good question. So, can everybody else hear me now that Sandy's talking? Can you still hear me, Megan?
Yes.
I don't know if Megan can still hear me now. All right, Megan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, good. I guess I can unmute everybody now. Okay. So can everybody hear me? Still, Angie.
Yes.
All right. So kind of as far as eating, definitely you want to eat for the current weight you're at, because your body has to perform, or you have to fuel your body in order for it to perform at the weight you're at currently. And if you're feeding it the food that, from your previous or your goal weight, then it's hard for your body to survive off that, because there's a possibility that you need more food at 300 than you're going to need at 250, just because of the way that the body functions and the amount of energy that it needs during a day in order for it to survive. Jane, can you hear me? Your mic went out for a second. Any other questions? Do you guys see the workbook, or have the workbook in front of you? I don't know who has the workbook and who doesn't.
I don't, but I'm at piano.
You're at piano?
I know. I'm trying to be quiet and listen to you.
Anybody have any other questions or anything that it talks about, or want to talk about anything other than that?
your body can go in starvation mode, can't it, if you don't feed it enough?
Right. So if you as soon as you wake up, or as soon as you wake up, as far as your body's already in a starvation or a hyper like a hibernation mode. I'm gonna forget the actual technical term for it. Um, but if you don't eat within that first couple hours or the first couple 10 minutes of you being awake, your body stays in that kind of starvation or hibernation mode, and so you actually will burn less calories throughout a day uh, when you're not eating, just because your body isn't willing to give up that energy um, that it doesn't have or that you haven't put in it, and so it's a big thing of eating constantly, so your body is getting what it needs in order for it to let go of the things that you have already put in it, or for it to just burn that energy that you put in it. So yes, your body can go into starvation mode, and you do burn less calories. It actually will start. It actually will affect your metabolism ongoing. That's why you see a lot of people that have been overweight or haven't had a steady eating program or diet. After a long time, you hear the big thing was Slim for Life and rebuilding your metabolism, and they talked all about metabolism all the time. And so after you kind of had that bad diet or that bad eating over a long period of time, your body actually will go in starvation mode, and it'll actually affect your metabolism, which your metabolism is basically what happens in what decreases in starvation mode. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Sandy, are you what? Go. Are you? You want to say something again?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to you, Sandy.
What'd you say?
Were you saying something again? It keeps telling me that you're raising your hand to say something.
No, that's because I raised my hand like 6 times because I couldn't get it to stop. I don't know how to unraise it.
Oh, well, I just put it down for you.
Okay, thank you, because I was tired.
Your shoulder getting a little tired there. Okay, anything else anybody wants to talk about? Any points?
I would like to tell you that I absolutely loved this.
Great, awesome.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Is that Andrew talking to Brett in the background?
What,
Okay, I have
the
a question
webinar is
for
awesome?
Cindy.
Hey, what?
Is she talking about the webinar?
I, I'm not
Her
sure.
mom's over there.
Okay, good. Anybody else? Any other questions? Anything else?
I
No?
guess we're all shy. I guess we don't have any questions.
Okay. And I just wanted to kind of finish up with this one kind of thing, which I kind of touched on briefly, is kind of expecting to kind of win and having that kind of attitude, which also kind of ties in that attitude kind of at Mizzou that we kind of got once we started winning games and once we started being successful. It's kind of every day, kind of expecting to be or kind of expecting to have a bad diet. A lot of people enter in their day, they're like, man, I just really don't know how I'm going to do this during a day, and kind of entering in that day and be like, all right, I'm going to nail my food. I'm going to nail it. I'm going to be able to, eat all my portions. I'm going to get through my workout. I'm going to get through work, and I'm going to win the day. And so, kind of having that mentality and kind of having that ability to, want to win and expect to win. Um, for me, that's how my recent days have been. It's just kind of attacking and being, kind of winning each day and everything that I kind of do. And that's kind of helped me a lot as far as having like that mental toughness. As far as something goes wrong in my day, and being able to bounce back, giving myself positive affirmations. Okay, you know, I'm great at this. I'm awesome at what I do, and having those positive affirmations and telling myself that throughout the day have really kind of changed, how I'm able to do my job. and so it's been awesome. So I'll kind of give you guys this challenge. Is kind of give yourself kind of 10 positive affirmations a day. Just kind of telling yourself, I'm great. I'm beautiful. I'm strong. Things like that, and kind of just giving yourself that boost that you need throughout the day. And even if you don't tell yourself or you don't want to say it out loud, um, uh, take a postcard, take anything, and put it in your pocket. Put it next to where you have your phone in your pocket, things like that. And every time you reach for your phone or every time you put your hand in your pocket, you'll think, "Hey, positive affirmations. I feel great. I'm strong." Things like that, and hopefully that'll help you kind of have a better day and do things like that. So that's kind of my challenge to you guys going forward. Um, all of you guys are clients of mine. So on Tuesday, we'll kind of go over a little bit more of the workbook stuff. Um, or if you don't have a workbook, you can get one. So that is the end of our webinar here, and hope that you guys enjoyed it. Um, and if you have any questions or anything, you can post it on the 58 Fitness page or just ask me directly. Okay. And you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
morning.
See ya.
Hi.
Bye.
How do I hang up? How do you hang it up? No, if I press the hand, it raises. Oh.
I can't hang up till she does.